Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, so it's time for What Did You Read This Week Wednesday. For me, it was The Forbidden Zone by Whitley Strieber. So Whitley Strieber, when my wife saw me reading this book, she said, "Isn't that the alien guy?" Yes. You guys may know him from Communion and some of the other stuff he did. There was a movie with Christopher Walken playing Whitley Strieber. He in the early '80s he went through a thing where he said he was abducted by aliens from his home in the Catskill Mountains, I think it was. But neither here nor there. He was actually a best-selling horror author before all that, whether it happened or not, or whether he thinks it happened or what have you. I wrote Wolfen, for example. So I was over halfway through it, and I was surprised to see that this book had a 3.37 on Goodreads because I really, really enjoyed this. And then as I got to the end, I started to realize why. So what Whitley Strieber did here is he really tapped into H.P. Lovecraft with better character work and better descriptions and stuff like that. You guys know my feelings on Lovecraft in terms of the quality of author he was. But he really tapped into all the darkness and the cosmic horror of Lovecraft, but it kind of took it to the next step, which is what horror authors tend to do. But the last 50 pages or so, it moved quickly. It was a fast read, but there were some things that even got me to the point where I just couldn't suspend disbelief anymore. For instance, a woman who's had a very rough last couple days in her pregnancy, which is in the 8th or ninth month, giving birth in a really horrific situation, and then proceeding to flee the demon, the evil entity, like literally running and climbing a ladder hundreds of feet tall, stuff like that. She and her husband jostling the newborn baby back and forth while climbing this ladder. And then there were a couple things that he used the word complicated a lot when trying to describe, uh, just to be blunt, mutant creatures that had mutated in odd ways. He called their limbs or their mandibles complicated, and he did that quite often. He also used the word womb a lot, and it's like there are other words you can use. So the end really it really just didn't land for me. And it ended with the typical, the military showed up and everything's going to be okay. It was really great till the last 50 pages or so. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Who am I to criticize a best-selling author? Yeah, that's it. So see you next week.